What's up guys, welcome to That Freaking Geek. Is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart the PS5 game you've been waiting for? Well, I'm going to be talking about that today. It is going to be a shorter review, a shorter video review, so that you can just kind of get the main idea of what I thought of the game. If you want my full thoughts, you can take a look at the description below. I have a website where I gave my full thoughts on the video game. So go check out that review if you want more of my thoughts. But for now, here are my just kind of quick thoughts, quick video into what Ratchet & Clank is all about. And Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is the latest Ratchet & Clank game. Insomniac Games have been on fire recently, making incredible games in the last 2 years, and Ratchet & Clank is no exception. This is taking advantage of the PS5 to the absolute max with SSD and the ray tracing and 4K 30 frames. It looks absolutely gorgeous. So in this review, I'm going to answer the question, is this game worth you going out right now to go buy a PS5, 12,000 Rand, drop the money right now? Well, let's get into my review. So, what is the story about? So, basically, Ratchet & Clank are getting celebrated for all the incredible stuff they've been doing over the years. They are heroes, and the city wants to celebrate that. And Clank wants to give a gift to Ratchet, and basically it is a device that allows him to travel through dimensions, so you can go see his fellow Lombaxes who have been extinct in this dimension. And what could possibly go wrong, except the fact that Dr. Nefarious is back, and he steals it so that he can be in a dimension where he is the supreme ruler. And that exactly happens, and Ratchet and Clank get split apart, and now they need to get back together. But thankfully there is another Lombax who also loves wacky weapons. She gets there and she helps Clank, and together they need to reunite with Ratchet and stop from this space and time kind of crumbling around them and defeat Nefarious once again. And long story short, at the end of the whole story, I really enjoyed it. There's some great mature themes that's kind of explored. Even though it's a kid's video game, look at the age rating, what did you expect? You will see that this is a lot more of a mature story given its themes. I think it was really well done. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next Ratchet & Clank game. But moving on to gameplay. Rift Apart really makes you feel like a Lombax, and what I mean by that is that if you enjoyed previous Ratchet games, you know what you're in for. You're going to be jumping, smashing things with your wrench, and the gameplay between Ratchet and Rivet are basically the same thing. And so don't expect anything too different when it comes to the Rivet stuff. So much so that their weapons and their abilities all sync up in some weird, wonderful PlayStation way. I'm not going to over-explain it. But basically, there is tons of new ways to traverse around your location. Either a cool new dimension dashing, basically that allows you to kind of dodge enemies or get to locations. And there's, of course, the rifts. You can use the rifts to get to locations that you can't get by just jumping. Or it comes into gameplay where if you're in a tight spot, you can use that rift to just kind of get away or get the jump on your enemies. There's tons of different ways, but my favorite new kind of way, it's actually something that has been in the series before, is the amazing hover boots. The hover boots are so cool because it literally makes you go like so fast around all the maps, and some of the bigger areas allows for you to get from point A to point B way quicker, or if you're in action you can quickly just boot out of there and boot right back in when you need to. I love those hover boots. It's really, really cool and a great addition to the traversal and Ratchet & Clank. Now, talking about what you're probably playing Ratchet & Clank for, and that it's weapons. Yes, those zany, wacky weapons are back, and you have some of your classics such as the blaster that you know, that's there. That's really awesome. The pixelizer, I loved it from the last game, basically taking your characters and absolutely turning them into these pixel messes. It's really, really kiff. And some new weapons such as the Enforcer, that's basically another version of the shotgun, but it just explodes like a fireworks and it looks absolutely gorgeous and amazing. You really got to take a look and go and play the game yourself to go experience all the weapons. I'm not going to spoil that much more here. In terms of your weapons and upgrading them, the more you use them, the more they upgrade. The only thing that I would probably say a disappointment about the combat, and that would probably be the fact that there is not as many upgrades that actually make a difference in terms of your range or your running around. And there are small upgrades to your suits and stuff, but they don't make a big enough difference to actually warrant you going out to go look for them. But thankfully, when you do go out to look for them, it's fantastic because the worlds they've created are absolutely beautiful. Because at the end of the day, size doesn't matter, quality does. And the worlds that Insomniac has created is absolutely gorgeous. From Nefarious City that is cold and rainy, it looks absolutely gorgeous with its dark and illuminating lights all around the place, to the absolute wasteland that is another planet where you just boot around in your hover boots. These bigger worlds are more open world, but they're not as like Assassin's Creed heavy with all the side quests. Within all these worlds there are some side quests, but it's more to flesh out the worlds than to give you more stuff to do. The game is mostly linear. You know how Ratchet and Clank games work, but I love how more they've opened up the world. Don't worry, there are still linear worlds that you get to explore, but the more big open worlds are still a welcome kind of gesture. And like I was saying before, I really love what they've done with the game in terms of the look and feel, because this game is running in 4K 30. That is my preferred choice. There are other choices you can see in the option menus, all the different choices that you can do. All in all, Rift Apart is upped its arsenal. This is Ratchet and Clank, in my opinion, at its best. If you've been wanting a reason to go and buy a PS5 right now, I think this game is that reason. A game that is so incredibly detailed, with action so explosive and so amazing, and worlds so great to fall in love with and get lost in. If that is not a good enough reason to go buy a PS5 right now and get this game, I don't know what it is. But I really enjoyed it. I hope you get to enjoy it one day. But that's it from me. If you want more thoughts about it, once again, go check out my full written review of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. You can find it in the description below. But thanks so much. I'll check you on the next one. Cheers.